In this video, I will be grading some new footage that I shot the other day with my new FX6. It's nothing special. We were inside a warehouse in Sweden, Gothenburg, and shot some random scenes. Afterwards, when I came home and watched back the footage, I thought to myself, the lighting is actually kind of cool. And it's actually just straight up workshop lighting. The white balance on the camera I set to 3200. I shot it in S-Log3, S-Gamma 3 Cine, and the ISO was set to 12,800 throughout the whole shoot. And I had the variable ND filter on auto. So basically I just let the camera do the work with the exposure. Like I said, I thought to myself that actually the footage looks pretty cool. So what I did is that I went into website that is called Film Grab. What this does is that if you click on frame here, it takes you to a page where there is a lot of frames from the movie. And what I came up with was this right here. The first two frames are from a movie called Extremely Wicked. The mood was kind of cool here, and the lights is kind of matching the lighting on my footage. Here is Uncut Gems. I think it has a cool vintage look to it, and you can see some halation going on. And the last two frames here is from a movie called Mikey and the Bear. And why I chose these two frames is because I think they are matching the overall image here, and I think they look kind of cool. So somewhere in this ballpark I want to go with the footage. Here's the three shots I will be grading. They kind of all have different look to them, but it's shot in the same building with some different lighting. Let's start with the middle clip here to begin with. First thing I'll do is to open up a power grade I've already done. It's not anything on here at all. It's just a node tree. So the color management, I'll be working color managed. The input color space is set to what I shot the footage with. Timeline color space is the DaVinci Wide Gamma Intermediate. The output color space Rec 709 Gamma 2.4. Okay. And like you see, the footage is converted properly. So let's go ahead and start the grade. So what I think right out of the box is that the image is where we want it to be balance-wise. I think that the first thing I'll do is to add a glow effect here. I'll go into the effects and type in glow and drop the glow on that node. Here, what I'll do first is to change the composite type soft light. And then I will just take the shine threshold and I will drag it down. Somewhere around here, maybe. And then I'll just go into the opacity and drag it down a bit. And if we disable that node, I kind of want to have a bit more. Let's split it. So we go to 0.3 on the opacity, and I'll drag down the shine threshold a bit. So before, after. I kind of like that, but I'll think we'll add some opacity. Before, after. It's kind of making the overall image darker, but it preserves the highlights a bit. So the clothes and the highlights here is pretty much staying bright. Let's go into the primaries and try to play with the gamma and drag it up a bit. So we get a little bit more. So gamma up and gain down a bit. Gamma up and bring the gain back down. So before and after, yeah. I don't think I want to introduce too much contrast with the curves yet. Now I will create some kind of look. Now we have our reference images in the timeline. So let's go ahead and try to create this kind of look. Grab a still and go back to the original footage and let's pause it right here. And then we'll go in here and grab this and say that we want to split the screen and drag it over a bit. Curves, custom curve. Let's ungang the channels and take the red one. Now I have played around with the custom curves a bit, and it definitely has a bit more of a cooler tone to it right now. I think we leave it like that for now. Let's go in and try to play with some halation. Not to change the look or anything now, but to add some of the vintage look at least. Halation. First off, isolate the regions and adjust the threshold. Add some strength just to see where we are. Change the spread. Saturation, we can bring down a bit. The gamma is way up. Let's take it down. I'll just bring the gamma down so we cannot see the noise that comes out of it here. Okay, it's introduced with the strength and the gamma. Viewer. It adds, but it doesn't add that much. I would like to have it a bit more. Maybe here we have a reasonable level. Somewhere around there, I think. That looks good. Let's go in and add some grain to this. Grain. We'll use the 35400T. Let's take grain only. Texture, grain size. We can have it there. Strength, let's make it somewhere here. There we go. Let's uncheck that. The strength is way too much. Actually go down with that a lot. So if we play back here before and with the changes on, here's where we are now. And if we open up the wiper, I like where it's going. Let's test another thing. Let's disable the look node for now. We'll go this route instead. I'll open up the intermediate Kodak 2383 LUTs from Jake Pirelli. Let's try to open up the DaVinci Wide Gamut 2383D55 and place it on this node. What if we can use this as a base? Let's take the primes and drag down the gain so we can be in the original space where we were before. Up with lift and down with the gain a bunch. Up with the gamma, down with the gain. Somewhere here. I think here is a good start. So now I think with the glow effect added on there, I like the glow. You can see a little bit. Actually, let's change the spread and let's take the opacity up. Change the spread to that we see a little cloud on the light sources, like that. And then we could just take the threshold here and drag down the opacity. This here somewhere. I I think that is kind of cool. Halation. Now I think the halation is over the top, actually. I think I will be dragging down the strength a ton. It's right about there. Change the threshold as also. Open up the strength a little bit. Somewhere around there. Let's add a green. That looks good. Maybe the strength of the gain is a bit too much. Green strength. There we go. Disable, enable. We have it right there. The halation is maybe a bit hot, but let's leave it as it is. This looks kind of cool. And if we take up the other frame, this is more towards the blue and green side. What if we open up this and enable that? That's just too much. And we have done so much to this node already, so I don't think this is helping the image anyway. Let's reset that. Let's open up the wiper and drag this over, and I kind of think that this actually looks as good as we can get it. What more can we take out of this? I think especially here in the ceiling, I think it matches really well. I think the skin tones maybe should be a bit more desaturated on this image right here. What happens if we go into the saturation and we just drag down the saturation a bit? No, this is better. This is actually better. It takes away a bit of the green, but it's kind of is a bit warm here as well. I think this is why color grading is so hard. Let's leave it on, and we will not touch that. We will add some saturation. We'll split the difference here. So we'll go for 45 or 46. Maybe we should be happy with this. Maybe we cannot go any further. Let's save this grade and take the next clip, or the previous clip to this one. So we can take this frame and we can add the grade we have already done. Let's start out. This looks very cold, so let's start out with disabling the white balance, and it's a bit dark as well, so we'll maybe need to do some adjustments here in the primaries. Let's take the gain up a bit then, and the gamma, maybe not so much gain, but the gamma should go up again. And the halation here is way too much, I think. Let's take down the strength of the halation. There. Or something. Maybe we want to have a little bit at least. If we play that back. Yeah, that looks great. Also here, I like that the skin tones it doesn't feel that desaturated. It feels kind of neutral, actually. I like that. So if we play this back again now when we have added the grade to this scene, it feels like in this scene everything falls in place much easier. I think this looks really, really good. And if we take not this wipe, we will add that. Close that down, and well, we're still not going in this direction, but I absolutely love the look we're getting right now. let's go to the last scene here. Well, I don't think that it will be that easy on this scene. Let's add the grade anyway. Okay, so this is where we are. And if we disable the white balance, we are here. What I can see is that the image is quite dark. Let's drag up the lift, the gamma, and the gain a bit. Kind of want the gain to go not over that. The halation needs to drag down, so strength, go down, disable it, enable it. Kind of doesn't do anything now. Just drag it up a little bit. I'll live with that for now. The grain, I think, is adding a lot, so I'll leave that as it is. And the glow I think is fine. Let's drag down the opacity 0.229. 0.229. Maybe drag that down a bit anyway. So if we enable the wiper, not with that image, we can go to this image. Okay, so this is really not working. And even if we go to this and drag it over, this looks way better. I mean, this image looks way better than this image. Let's close it down and try to get where we are with those two images. So if we can open that up and have this on, and this character and this character and this character are actually the same. So let's have them like that and enable the white balance and go into the primaries, offset, and let's see here. What should we do? Let's reset it, and we'll take the offset wheel and we'll drag it down towards the, not so much blue, more towards the green or yellowish side. This is better. Right here, I think it's, well, it's a lot better, that's for sure. Where are we now? This is a lot warmer. It should still be a lot warmer, I think. Let's drag it up a bit towards the, I'm like dragging it out towards the yellow and green side, but now I'm actually going up a bit. This is kind of looking better, actually. And from here, actually, let's drag it down, add some more green. Right there. I think this actually might be the closest we can get right now. What happens if we just go over and add the temperature? We drag up the temperature towards the warm side a bit here. It actually is getting too warm, I would say. Or maybe not. This is actually pretty good if you take a look at the white color on the shirt here and the white color of this shirt here. Maybe this is a bit more white than this is right now. That could be the case. What happens if we go into the saturation and enable that? That kind of adds some warmth to the clothes. And that's good, I think. Let's drag down the color boost and see what happens. That makes the shirts whiter for sure. Now let's leave it there. If we go to the white balance again, and we take the tint and just drag it over to the green very, very slightly. Like that. Maybe take the offset wheel and drag it a bit down towards the green again, and maybe back into the blue side. Not into the blue side, but towards. This is actually pretty close. What I want to do with this image is that I'll actually add some more contrast here. Curves, custom curves, and we'll need to gang channels. So get red, green, and blue. Bring down the low end and bring up the high end a bit to create some more contrast here. Let's go into the white balance again and try to actually, let's go into the saturation and bump it up. Now it's kind of feel too much green, so let's add some tint there somewhere. Let's play it back. Again. No, maybe not. The halation is fine. If we take off the loop, play this back, so it goes right into that scene. Kind of feels seamless. We have the first scene, going into the second scene, and third scene. If you ask me now, I think this works. Let's take the temperature and drag it up a bit more. We jump back again. And back again. First, second, third. And we open up this one. I don't think that this is so bad, but what I'll do now is that I will actually add some grain strength to this scene, because I think it's so different. So I kind of feel like it needs a bit more strength in the grain. Maybe there somewhere. First, second. Yeah, that's good. That's actually, I like that. So go from this, kind of doesn't look anything like that. But what we used as a reference, this scene, is pretty good, I'd say. And Uncut Gems, the only thing that is taken from here is kind of some halation. It's not much, but I think it's there, and it's really grainy, and I think we have somewhat achieved that here as well. Well, that's the grade. For me, I felt that this was pretty hard. Maybe it would be easier to get somewhat of a good look or be more satisfied with my grade if I didn't pick that reference footage. But I also think that if you pick a reference footage and try to grade your footage like that footage, it makes you better at color grading. It makes you try new stuff. It makes you you know, test things. Does it work with this effect? Or no, let's disable that node and try something else. Let's apply a lot. I'm not super happy about the result here, but I think it looks decent. I think it looks kind of cool. And maybe this is not that fun to watch. Maybe it's more fun to watch someone that is more professional and can get a better result. But I still felt that I wanted to post this video because color grading is hard. But to try out new things and experiment also makes you better. Well, if you have stayed to the end, maybe you can drop a comment and tell me, did you enjoy this, or should I never make this again? Well, thanks for watching. Bye bye.